The Strays is a new Netflix film from director Nathaniel Martello White. This is his directorial debut for a feature film, and I think is very interesting as to what he's accomplished with his first feature film. Is it worth your while? Let's talk about it in the comments below. For Neve, life in the posh suburbs was a reprieve from reality, but when her past comes back to haunt her, the truth will come out. So I'm going to be doing a non-spoiler review, but at the end I will be talking about the end and do a sort of ending explained, but I'll give you warnings so you can dive out if you don't want to hear any spoilers or ending explains, that sort of thing. But for now, this is just the review. I think when people watch this film, you're going to have similarities or references to films like Get Out or Us. It has an intensity to it that doesn't let up. Even though what you're seeing on screen isn't necessarily horrifying, it's a thriller that builds and builds. And this film has three parts to it. We have the initial kind of what's happened to this woman, where she finds herself in the suburbs with her life that she's grown. And then her past comes back to haunt her, and that's the second part of the film. And then the third is the climax. It's a very nice, tidy film with the way it circumnavigates the story of the arc, but doing the massive reveal, I guess, halfway through and then seeing the consequences of that. The actors here, I think, have done a phenomenal job. Some of them have to play really intense characters without actually being intense. There's not a lot of dialogue that's given to them that showcases what they're feeling, but the actors are portraying moments and mannerisms that show that what they're about is frazzled, is broken, and that really is the name of the game here. I think a big theme of the film, though, is selfishness, and that is showcased between one particular character, and I think you're going to be pretty angry at this character the whole way through, especially when you hit that ending. I think that's a place where people are going to talk about in the comments below. If you're going to talk about spoilers, please don't spoil it for other people. Leave the ... and explain, that you're spoiling bits so that you can give people the heads up as to that's what you're talking about. One of the other things I think that is outstanding in this film is some of the shot selections that they use, very much purposely drawing you into each shot. You'll notice if you're a filmmaker, or if you're a wannabe filmmaker or a creative, there's certain shots that draw you in when the camera zooms in slightly continuously in an amount of shots. When they're editing from one shot to the next shot, you'll just see the zoom slowly going in, making you feel like you're enclosed. That's purposeful in certain shots. And then even from the beginning, the dreariness, the color palette, everything is purposely created to give you a sense of unease, the tone. So you don't know why you're feeling so uneasy when stuff that they're doing on screen is just family going through their day-to-day lives. And before things get weird and wacky, when you see it visually, when other characters come into the story, you're already feeling all that. And that's great editing and storytelling between the characters and the editing, crafting a story that before it gets on screen. That is very clever. I really liked it. The conundrum of what you're going to feel, though, in this film is something that I think might have people talking for a while. Even though it's probably a film that you're going to want to watch one time, it might not be a film that you want to go back anytime soon. The performances are great, the editing, the movie, all of that comes together, but the feeling that it evokes from you, from how can that person be so selfish to what you would do in that situation, it's definitely one of those films that gets you thinking and talking. What would you do in that situation? It's a situation that I believe people have found themselves in, but what they do in those circumstances basically showcases the type of person you are. But it's never that easy, is it? I like to think that I would make a certain decision in the same circumstances, and I think I would, and it's very easy to judge, so I'm trying to distance myself from this particular character. But at the same time, what would you do? I think what I would do, but at least I hope that's the decision. Let me know in the comments what you would do. I'm going to jump into spoilers in a moment, but for now, let me just say this is a solid one-time watch. That doesn't mean I'm going to give it a low score. I just don't think I would ever go back to it anytime soon. Nice directorial feature debut from this director. Great performances all round. Great score, tension, building, editing, cinematography, all expertly crafted. Giving it 4 Nic Cages out of 5.
And you got one. Congratulations.
And now for that ending explained. So At the beginning, we see this woman, the mother, leave, and we don't really know what she's leaving. We just kind of have an idea that she's leaving a life that's really sucky. She's trying to escape and start again. And immediately, we're still kind of not really liking her as a protagonist, because whoever she was with her partner, she's just left to be. Now, I didn't really clock. I might have caught a glimpse that there was a kid involved. I didn't know that there were two. I definitely didn't know how long she had gone until she had built this family for her own. And then we see those two worlds collide, the two families. The one, obviously, we get little bits of information. The son has been sectioned. The father was not great, so ended up being with the aunt who gave them up. So they're obviously in foster care. And whatever led to them being like they are broken children who need medical, like mental medical care. Just from the little bits of information. And so we get that climactic ending where both families now understand that the mother walked out and left them just to their own devices in a circumstances that were really horrible. She really should have taken the kids with her, but she needed an escape herself. So that's at least her excuse in the story that's written that way. And then we get that moment where we have the takeaway guy there. Is everything okay? Let me just get you some change, a tip for coming all the way at this time of night. And as soon as she has her purse and that jumper, I clicked. I said, don't you dare. And she does. And that is where the film ends. And you're like, son of a bitch, she did it again. And so now we have two sets of kids who are broken, who have left with a dead father, who will be even more broken because she walked out on them again. You could have a sequel, the Strays 2, where the awful kids find her next her next family that she's created. Let me know your thoughts and comments. Do you think she's just going to get help? Or do you think she's legged it again? I think she's legged it because obviously she has a track record. Thanks so much for watching this. But most of all, until next time, remember, live long on Tuesday.